Are you tired of the endless supply of terrible storytelling? Of uninspiring, nihilistic stories that permeate most of modern day entertainment? Are you tired of the diversity, equality, and inclusion standards that are forced upon movie creators and actors? Well, so are we. So go with us on a journey as we chronicle for you the latest news in entertainment, as we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of the film industry, and as we pave a way forward to see the kingdom of Christ grow and the dragon of secularism meet its end. Now, if you want to support us in our mission, please head over to patreon.com/the Powell Bros, or follow the link in the show notes. There, you will gain access to our exclusive show, the Powell Bros Mini Reviews, as well as early access to both Movie Chronicles and movie reviews. Now, on with the show. Welcome to the Powell Bros Movie Chronicles. We are here during Spooky Week. Halloween is coming up. We're less than a week away from when we're recording this, and a few days away from when this is releasing. And yeah, we are excited to do this episode. You know, we have some fun things in store and planned for you throughout this episode. And yeah, I'm one of your hosts, Trent Powell. I'm joined by my co-host, Tobiah Powell. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah. This will be fun. With Halloween coming up. Lots of spooky movies. Lots of
yes.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Lots of spooky films and fun, silly, spooky films. And
yeah.
You know, I feel like Christmas and Halloween is the time where you just pull out the cult classics and the really like kind of dumb movies that aren't ones that obviously not ones you watch year round. You watch during Christmas and Halloween.
Yeah.
But they're ones that like probably aren't that good, but they're just fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And now that I've we've become more critical of movies, it's sometimes hard to watch those type of movies. Like there's a couple of Halloween ones that I've watched and I'm like, oh, this movie sucks. I can't stand it, but it's not it's not supposed to be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I get it.
What are a couple of them? Name drop a couple.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good one, but like Beetlejuice, I think Beetlejuice is great. It's not a perfect film, but it's fun. Haunted Mansion, that one has some problems, but it's still decent. Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd. I can't do cannibalism stuff. Like it's just a little too much for me sometimes.
Yeah.
When it comes to and you got like body horror, eating people. That stuff is like a little too far for me. Like I can watch horror movies and I can stomach almost anything, but when it comes to that, it's like a little too much sometimes. But Sweeney Todd's good. Another Johnny Depp one, Sleepy Hollow. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I've ever watched it all the way through. I start watching it, but it doesn't usually catch me.
It's a little boring. It's not great,
yeah.
But it's a fun one to watch during Halloween.
Yeah.
And Casper and the Friendly Ghost. We watched a new one the other night. It was an animated kids movie called Monster Family. It was about like a modern day Dracula that turns his family into or that gets a witch to turn his family into like Frankenstein, a mummy, a vampire, and all these things. It was really stupid, but I guess my kids liked it, so
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Hotel Transylvania, which I actually do like Hotel Transylvania, but it's fun. Yeah, there's fun movies, I guess.
Yeah, we watched the fourth one that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
For the first time, we watched it this year, but
oh yeah.
So
that one was kind of got too out of hand.
Yeah, well, Adam Sandler, Kevin James, what's his name, David Spade. None of those guys were in it.
Oh right.
It was all people that what do you call it? they sound like them. Like they I
Yeah,
can't remember what that's called.
they're not. It's kind of like those direct to DVD sequels. So like this, like the first one I think is really good. The second one I did not like because that felt like a early Disney direct to DVD sequel, where it's just like a really kind of lame plot that isn't that significant. Where it's like his kid or he wants his kid to be a monster or be a vampire or something, and so he's taking him on his journey, and it is not really like much driving the plot except for he just wants to have this time with his son. And I don't know, it's just like it just feels like a TV show episode almost.
Yeah.
And the third one, I can't remember the third one.
That was where he met his wife and
okay.
And they went on a cruise.
Oh yeah, the cruise,
That was all right, I guess. Yeah. But all just fun movies to watch during Halloween.
Totally. So we have a lot of news. So I am like keeping this almost strictly to Halloween related news, or like horror Halloween, because there are so many things that I could grab. There are a couple that aren't related to that I'm going to talk about. But do you want to start us off with anything?
Yeah, sure. Blade has been essentially canceled. I mean,
essentially,
it's
basically
delayed indefinitely. It's not on their calendar. Okay. It's gone. It's in the shadows like a vampire.
It was supposed to come out, I think, end of 2025.
Something like that.
That was when it was slated, and they dropped it from the release date, and then they added like I think the a Predator show movie.
Another Predator movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yep.
It just that movie's been in development hell forever, and it's just for some reason they can't get Blade killing vampires, going on a journey to kill vampires. They can't get that right. Can't get that story down. So, whatever.
Yeah.
And all the leaks, like the leaks were like apparently one script idea was to have like it focus on 4 sister vampires that were like kind of overshadowing Blade's character, and Mahershala Ali did not like that, and apparently that was like legit.
Yeah.
And so they dropped that, and they just, I don't know, couldn't figure it out. And then I think Deadpool and Wolverine really put an end to it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, yeah, we want
Wesley Snipes.
We want Wesley Snipes back.
Yeah.
We want him back.
Yeah.
He's there. There's only one Blade.
Yeah.
And there only ever will be one Blade.
Yeah.
So that kind of put a nail in the coffin, I think, and
for sure.
I don't think it's ever happening.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I want a Blade. I just want Marvel to handle the character right.
Yeah.
Like they did with at least the first movie. And oh, that's actually, I should go back and watch it. I know we reviewed all 3 of them, but I should watch Blade again for Halloween.
Yeah.
But Blade's awesome. I love Blade. He's basically just a demon vampire killer, and he's cool. He's awesome. Got great weapons, great powers.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to do, and they just can't figure it out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Actually, and speaking of Disney and Disney brands and movies canceled, did you hear that the screenwriter for Ray Skywalker film, I think he stepped down.
Oh, really?
He got stepped down on Friday. I'm pretty sure he stepped down. So Stephen Knight was slated to write it, and so this movie that's supposed to come out in 2026, just lost its writer. So,
wild.
We need to put together a list of directors and writers that have been either let go or quit and stepped away from a Star Wars project, or that were announced and we've heard nothing about for however many years.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's funny.
The thing about the Blade movie is it was announced in 2019.
That's crazy.
That's 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, on the track of vampires, there's
Yes.
strong rumors that Christopher Nolan's next movie is going to be a vampire movie set in the 1920s, starring
Yep.
Tom Holland and
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that sounds really fun.
That totally does. I'm
Yeah.
really curious. 'Cause it's a period piece. I'm really curious what they're going with as far as story, and I know it's Christopher Nolan. He'll have his own twist to it, and I'm totally here for it.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds fun.
I love Christopher Nolan, and I love a lot of his films, and man, I think that with his cinematography and his screenwriting abilities, like, I think he can make a good vampire movie. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's interesting that Tom Holland's doing it. That will be interesting. I wonder what kind of character he's gonna play. So
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. And then we got Matt Damon, who's been in a couple Christopher Nolan movies. A couple or just one? Maybe just one. I can only think of Inception. Not Inception. Interstellar.
Interstellar. Was he in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What are some things that you got?
Well, that was two of them.
Yeah.
Well, since it's Halloween, let's go ahead and talk about Hollywood's biggest clown, Mark Hamill. I don't know if you heard about this. So Mark Hamill suffers from what many call, and rightly call, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. And on Carrie Fisher's birthday, okay, this is her birthday. She would have been, I think, 68. I think she passed away 8 years ago, and she passed away around when she was 60. On her birthday, Mark Hamill posted this because I'm pretty sure Donald Trump runs rent-free in his brain every single day, because he said this, for Carrie, happy birthday, and for those wondering how she would vote in this election, one of the last of many arguments we had was who hated the orange atrocity more. After half an hour, we had to agree to disagree. Hashtag carry on forever. So Mark Hamill takes an opportunity to say happy birthday to one of his closest friends, one of his biggest co-stars, and he uses an opportunity to, of course, bash Donald Trump. It's just how sick and deranged are you? I don't care about if it's and the other way around. If a conservative was posting about Biden and they just had to, say happy birthday to someone that passed away, and they're just so deranged by Joe Biden that they had to say something about him in that post. It's retarded. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that word. It's just like, dude. It's just he is. I've convinced that Mark Hamill is just a psychopath. If you see all the things that he tweets and stuff, you just can't shut up about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just get over it.
Yeah.
We know you hate him. Move on. Get over it. Live on with your life. Stop being a miserable human being.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I didn't even. I started that off by saying he's Hollywood's biggest clown, and I forgot that he was. I didn't forget, but he voiced Joker, and that was totally unintentional.
Yeah.
I was just saying he just acts like a clown. He's a buffoon.
Yeah.
And he's mad in the brain.
Yeah.
He's also the Joker. And hey, the best voice actor of Joker ever. One of my favorite characters in any movie, Luke Skywalker. Like, great actor. And with Hollywood, we could bring up Zachary Levi, and that's everything related to him. What he said this past week, it's like
that was a few weeks ago, but we talked about it already.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm loony in the brain. I forget things. But yeah, it's like Hollywood is there. There are very few people that align with our views on really anything, and most people are, lean one way, and they lean one way, and then they villainize anyone that leans a different way or has any differing views. We've talked about J.K. Rowling, and how she has one different perspective from all these lunatics, and because she has one different perspective, they completely turn her into the worst person in the world. And she is a leftist lunatic, but because she doesn't think that women should act, or that men should act like women, or become women, and vice versa, that she's the worst person ever. But
yeah.
Anyways, it's just
We've also. Nice. Sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just you have to disconnect the character from the actor. When it comes to movies, it's like, you have your Zachary Levi's, you have your Gina Carano's, but it's like you got to disconnect who the actor is from the character oftentimes, because then then you just end up hating pretty much everyone in Hollywood, which pretty much we do. Like I think everyone, I'm pretty convinced that everyone in Hollywood is a pedophile and a piece of crap.
Yeah. Well, so. I mean, I kind of disagree. Like, you shouldn't disconnect it that much. Because
I'm saying, if you want to enjoy like movies,
sure,
and stories,
but there are certain people,
like Star Wars,
like, I won't watch their stuff because they drive me nuts.
Oh, sure.
Like, I just won't. Yeah. Like, I know that I wouldn't be able to enjoy it because I know their personal life too much. I'm like, I have no desire to watch anything that they're ever in. And
totally.
I and you shouldn't, and we shouldn't support their stuff anyway, and shouldn't support their lifestyles. But yeah,
I mean,
you can't get away from it completely with the world we live in, and
right.
So just use discretion, I guess.
Call a spade, and call out. Yeah, I mean, just be honest and. Honest with yourself, be honest with what you're watching and who you're supporting, and yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to disconnect it, and at least if you want to enjoy movies, because like we've said, like, stories are universal. There are universal truths and objective truths and aspects of stories that we by nature enjoy and are drawn towards, and Hollywood is actually capable of telling good stories, but that's because they live in God's world. They live in a world made by a creator, by an artist, by a storyteller, and they're in that story. And God likes to tell stories even through wicked people. Even he likes to strike straight blows through bent sticks, and he does that often. And I talked about Transformers 1 last week. It's like, that was a good example of like, oh, there's actually a really good story in this film. I don't think any of the creators were intentional in telling that story, but it's basically the story of the gospel, right there, in very explicit, very clear way, in a very clear way. But they didn't intentionally do that, but sometimes they can't help but telling good stories. And guess what? When you tell good stories, you make money. When you tell nihilistic, morally gray, pointless stories, Joker 2, you lose money. And that's how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What else you got?
Well, it's keeping it in the Halloween theme. The Warrens are back for one final time with The Conjuring 4. Just started filming this past week for, I think actually I don't know if they're going with the title 4. I can't remember now, but it's The Last Rites, or Last Rites, something like that. So yeah, it could be good. I don't know. Like, there are a couple of stories that like the Warrens that they could tell that the Warrens investigated. I don't know what they're doing, because they're going to tie up the whole universe. I think. So The Conjuring Last Rites. It doesn't have the 4 in it. So I don't know. I'm really curious what they're gonna do. It, because all the movies are like loosely based off of real cases that the Warrens investigated and that they were involved in. And of course they Hollywoodize it for the most part. And I'm just curious, because like the Nun films, I'm pretty sure the Nun are like the more like fictional ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're based loosely off of different stories, but for the most part, those are the kind of more fictional ones. So I wonder if this one is going to be more fictional and just loosely based off of certain stories, but they're going to maybe tie up Valak and Annabelle and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
And who knows? But I enjoy the Conjuring films, and
we're watching through them, and
nice.
my wife's watching them for the first time. We've watched the first
What'd you think of the second
Conjuring,
one?
Annabelle, and Conjuring 2.
Yeah. What you think of the second one?
A lot of things that were incorrect in it, but as a movie itself, it was pretty good. It was fun.
Yeah. There's some redeeming aspects
Yeah.
to those films, and a lot that's irredeemable because they do Hollywoodize it,
Yeah.
and like this, I think the second one where like she defeats the demon by her through her love for her husband or something.
No.
Oh no, okay. Maybe it's one of those.
She defeats the demon by
saying its name.
Saying its name. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That sounds dumb. The third one. Maybe I haven't seen the third one. There's a point where I haven't seen them anymore, because I know I've seen the 3 that we've watched. I've seen those 3. I don't know if I've seen anything past this. I haven't seen the Nun movies. I haven't seen The Curse of La Llorona. I haven't seen either of the other 2 Annabelles. And I definitely haven't seen the most recent Conjuring. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So it's
like
all,
the first
it's
one.
all gonna be new from here on out for me.
Sure. I don't know about like the. So I've not seen it. You haven't seen the Nun.
No.
I'm really. I wanna talk to you when you watch those.
Yeah.
Well, let me know.
One of my problems with the second one is there's so many times where it's like the demon played like a Christmas carol, like a Christian Christmas carol, singing to God, like a worship song, a hymn, and I'm like, a demon wouldn't be able to even be in the presence of that.
Not.
Like,
no, not.
And then there's lots of times with crosses where it like didn't affect them, and I'm like, no.
That's one thing. I think the first one is probably the more redeemable, and the first one actually had a lot of. I think the writing team had at least 1 or 2 Christians, or at least self-proclaimed Christians, that I don't even know if they work in Hollywood anymore, and I don't think they did really any more of the movies. And like essentially the first one, if I can remember, it's been a while, but the demon is cast away, through the name of Christ, right?
In the first one, I think so. Yeah, because Ed does an exorcism.
He exorcises the demon, condemns it back to hell.
Yeah,
and like pretty. So like I've studied and read a lot of like the actual stories of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they're a little wacky, but they're believers, I would say. I think they were. And wait, are they still alive? I don't even remember now. It's been so long.
Lorraine died in 2019. I don't know when Ed died.
Right, Ed did die before her.
Okay.
So, anyways, so like and like I said, they Hollywoodized the film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it wasn't as much of a happy ending, if you can say it was, for in real life, just because the family ended up just leaving the house, and I think they dealt with some more paranormal stuff, but eventually just went away.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an exorcism that happened, and so forth, and so I say all that, like, that movie makes it clear what's good and what's evil. And the other Conjuring movies do the same thing. Like, it draws a clear line between good and evil, and demons are real, the demonic, the spiritual, that's all real. That these things do happen. People do get possessed by demons. And like I said, the Conjuring movies are loosely based off of true stories. Like the third one, it's not a very good movie. I don't like the ending. But it did take a real case that happened. It was based off of a man who basically pled innocent, or not pled not guilty, because he was possessed by a demon. So he was possessed by a demon and he killed someone. I think he just killed one person or something, or he went on a killing spree. I can't remember, but he murdered someone, and then he pled not guilty because he was possessed by a demon. So Ed and Lorraine came in to investigate and to determine whether or not he was actually possessed by a demon and everything. And they of course expand upon that in the movie a lot more and bring in all these different elements, kind of building the world of the Conjuring universe, in a fictional, like the fictional world of the Conjuring universe. So yeah, and and there's like the whole thing about like saying the demon's name, like there's some reality to that, in cases of like saying the name, and like it does terrify it, but oftentimes like it demons need to be cast out in the name of Christ. It's through the name of Christ. Christ has authority over the physical and the spiritual. He is put to death. Well, he is defeated death and defeated all things, both spiritual and physical, and he is reigning and subduing the world to himself. He is given all authority in heaven and on earth, and it is in the name of Christ that demons flee. There's actually, man, okay. This is, I think this is important to talk about, but like there's actually a case where the Warrens investigated, where there was this ghost town in this forest in, I think, New Jersey, where it, like, and studying ghost towns in the US is wild, because there are a lot of ghost towns, and just the stories and accounts of like why these towns are ghost towns and people do not go there. There's one town where it's literally illegal to go to because there's all kinds of weird stuff that happen there. Like there are actual creatures and shadow monsters that people have captured and seen, and then a bunch of like people go, like cases of people going insane by being in these forests. But there's one where Ed and Lorraine Warren, they went to investigate this forest, and they basically determined that this has a very dark demonic presence here, and like people need to avoid it. But like I've just thought about, like there are places where Satan has gotten full control over and gotten his grip on, and it's just interesting to like think about, like, oh yeah, those are places that Christ will one day conquer. Those are places that will be turned, where Satan will lose his grip on, like Christ will trample him underneath his foot. He will defeat, and those are places where like the gospel needs to go forth, and where Christ's name needs to be proclaimed, and where demons need to be cast out, because they do dwell in places, even in the United States, like even in our homeland, which is wild to think about. But my point being, there are redeeming aspects of the Conjuring films. The Nun movies, they're just not good movies. Like the stories are just, I think, terrible. But they are interesting because they have more of a Catholic aspect to it, and well, basically both movies end with, it's not a spoiler, but like the blood of Christ, like they actually have like the quote unquote physical blood of Christ, and they use that to cast out the demon, basically, and to defeat it, because he gets the blood on him and he dies. So it's like, it's very ritualistic and sacrilegious, and it's idolatry. And no, they do not actually have the physical blood of Jesus. Yeah. And if they did, doesn't matter. It's the blood of Christ was spilt once and for all for the forgiveness of sins of all time, for all time, for all those who trust in him. So
yeah. So the second Conjuring, she does use she says, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I condemn you to hell. So she does mention God. To cast Valak out.
Right. And did that work? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I mean, it's in the name of the Triune God. That there is no other power that can defeat the demonic, that can defeat the darkness in this world. With the name of our Triune God, and specifically through the name of Christ, who is the representative of the Father, who sends His Spirit to indwell His people,
Yep.
and go forth and conquer and defeat those that are aligned against Him and against His people.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, there are redeeming aspects to movies like that, like the Conjuring films, that I can pick apart and I can enjoy in some ways, because I know, and because I watch those movies, and I know where true hope is found. I know where the remedy is for these demonic cases and these things that do happen. Demonic possession is real, and I think it's just as prevalent nowadays than it almost ever has. I mean, I do believe Christ is putting all His enemies beneath His feet, and He is conquering, and He's being victorious. But I think Satan, as Scripture says, walks around like an angel of light. Like he is out in the open a lot more than we like to realize. And speaking of Hollywood, Hollywood is filled with demon possessed people. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh yeah.
And it is. I 100% believe that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of child sacrifice in Hollywood. A lot of
Yes.
pedophilia
Blood
and
rituals
all kinds of
and
nasty stuff. Yeah. All right. What else you got for Halloween?
What else do I got? Well. Oh, well, no, I'm gonna say that for the end. That's actually it for Halloween specifically.
Yeah.
I have like a few rapid fire things I could shoot off
Sure.
if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I saw Venom 3. Sorry, you haven't seen Venom 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to say my just one sentence opinion of the film?
Sure.
Or would
Go
you
ahead.
rather
I
not
don't care.
Okay. It is typical Spider-Man Sony. It sucked.
Really?
I don't know. It's just really dumb. It was fun. It was a fun Venom film. It was not as good as the first one. Probably on par with the second one. Maybe a little better than the second. I don't know. I only saw the second one once. I don't remember much about it. So, anyways, there's that.
Dang. Yeah.
That was a lot more than a sentence, but
Yeah.
it sucked.
All right. What else do you got?
Do you see the trailer for Doom Prophecy?
No.
Oh, so it's the Benny Jesuit TV show set 10,000 years before the events of Dune. Speaking of Dune, I got my House Atreides signet ring.
Nice.
One of my favorite things.
Nice.
My wife got it for me it was in my birthday or Christmas. I can't remember.
Nice.
Anyways,
That's cool.
one of my favorite little props I have, I guess.
Yeah.
I should have a lot. I should show off my stuff more. But anyways, yeah. Doom Prophecy. It looks really good. You should watch the trailer. Like, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, and also it got me super stoked for Dune, so I started reading the book again. I'm like 3 chapters in. I'm gonna read it again. It's so good. I'm totally back into Dune.
Nice.
And yeah, I don't know. It looks good, but it's it's female led. But it's taking like actual lore from Dune and then expanding upon it. So if they stay true to it, there's not a whole lot of lore that they can mess up. Because there's not a whole lot written on this timeline. Well, sort of. I mean, there's a whole book that's a prequel. And it talks about the Bene Gesserits a lot and so forth. But it could be really good, but it also can be super lame and gay. So who knows? So we will find out about that. Today, did you see that there were set photos for Nicolas Cage's Spider Noir? Yeah. So he's in his suit. I mean, I don't know if it's actually Nick Cage in the suit, but it looks super cool. Like, I'm totally here for it. I should have sent them to you, but you can just look them up. But yeah, he's like riding on a motor car and standing, super cool pose. I mean, it looks like straight from animated to live action. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was released today. Look forward to that. And that's pretty much it for me, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I think it has potential of being good.
Yeah.
But also, well, no, it's not Sony. It's Amazon. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Interesting.
Oh, and speaking of Venom 3, we have Craven left this year still.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I want it to be good. I wanted Venom 3 to be good. Who knows?
Yeah. Jeez.
I almost got the Venom Regal popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Where it's like his
Oh
face.
yeah.
And I looked at it, and it's really lame. It's like really cheap plastic, and it wasn't as big as I thought it was. And his teeth are really small, and it looked kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it.
Yeah. That's
And it was like $40. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not spending $40 on it.
jeez. Yeah. One thing that we haven't talked about because it came out like I think it's the night that we recorded last week. The Daredevil trailer that got leaked.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was, I think, was it New York Comic Con?
Yeah. Yeah. It's New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The trailer got leaked.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a bootlegged version of the trailer. What'd you think of it?
It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean,
Totally.
I don't know if I can't remember if there's necessarily much of the story in the trailer, but
Not really.
a lot of it had the same feel as the original show, which
Totally.
is very, very good, and it didn't have a strong Disney feel to it at all. So a lot of hopeful things regarding it, and hopefully it'll live up to the original 3 seasons, or whatever.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch those.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to. Some of the best
Oh yeah.
adaptations of superheroes.
Oh yeah.
I think ever. So man, I loved it. You kind of setting up the rivalry fight between Kingpin and Daredevil once again, and it had everyone in it. It had obviously Foggy and Karen. It had Punisher. It had Bullseye, and yeah, everyone was in the trailer.
Kingpin,
So, I don't know. Kingpin.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty brutal and like intense, like the show. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. And I mean, all 3 seasons were so good. 2, I think, is the one that lacked the most, because I feel like that was like the season where they're introducing all the other shows that they were gonna do. Like they introduced Punisher so that they could do the Punisher series. Did they introduce Luke? No, he wasn't.
Was Luke Cage or Jessica Jones in it? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I can't remember. I don't think so, but and it was a lot of Elektra was in that one. That was all. Oh, that's what it was. It was the Hand. That's what was really introduced in that was the Hand, because then they did all the other series, and then they did the Defenders series, and all those like led to the Hand. So like that was the season that introduced the Hand. It was like the intro to the Hand, and then you watch all the other seasons of the different shows, and then you watch the Defenders, and then so like it was really heavily tied to like all these other things so it kind of made it a little sloppy. But the other 2 seasons are like just
solid,
top-notch TV, like absolutely the best. Not that season 2 isn't fun. Season 2 is still fun.
Still fun, still good, better than anything we've gotten as of recently.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I think that's it for news. You have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
So Tobiah, I have a question that is pressing in this time, in this season. So Tobiah, is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
I always watch it on November 1st. I think that's the day to watch it, because it's a transition movie from Halloween to Christmas. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's exactly what we do. It's kind of becoming our tradition.
Yeah.
Where we do that, and then we put up Christmas decorations because Christmas starts on November 1st. Don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Halloween's done. It's Christmas season. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, okay, but is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I'd say it's more of a Halloween movie than it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And apparently it's considered a Halloween movie. You know, it's set in Halloween Town. It takes place during Halloween, but then he goes on a journey, he finds Christmas, and then gets involved with all the Christmas stuff and everything, and then comes back to Halloween. But it's a Halloween movie. But
for sure,
Christmas element. There's a lot of Christmas elements to it, and I get why.
Yeah.
You kind of gotta. It's that good transition film. So
yeah.
Secondly, what about Gremlins? Is Gremlins a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? Is it a movie you watch during Halloween or Christmas?
I haven't watched Gremlins in many years.
You have to.
I
It's
was
so good.
planning.
Well,
No,
I mean, yeah.
I thought it was a Christmas movie, but then I get on all these streaming services and I keep seeing Gremlins pop up, or whatever streaming service it's on. Maybe Disney Plus. I think that's where it is, and it's under.
I think it's Max.
And it's under, probably. And it's under Halloween movies. I was like, wait, I thought this was a Christmas movie because I was planning to watch it this coming Christmas season. And so I was like, what? So I'm going to watch it in November. So if it's Christmas or Halloween, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. That's exactly what prompted this question because I saw it on the streaming service. And I was like, oh, it's listed as a Halloween movie because it's actually not. It's a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas. It's 100% a Christmas movie. But it's like creepy. It's kind of like a spooky movie.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
part.
it's a Christmas movie.
So
for
you can
sure.
watch it during Halloween. It's fine, but it's set during Christmas. It's, in my opinion, it's a Christmas movie. I watch it every Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
I watched the first one, but I never watched the second one, and I haven't seen the second one in years. So I want to watch it this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. All right.
Yep.
Are we doing a tier list?
Yes, we are. So I have a whole list of mostly. I tried to do mostly as Halloween themed movies and not necessarily horror movies. I did put some horror in here, but I'm just have a whole list of films, and we'll just see how far we can get. Let's rank it. S tier is the highest. A, B, C, D, F. We'll skip E, and we will figure this out. Okay, and this is Halloween movies. So what is your S tier Halloween best Halloween movie that you've seen? That's where your S tier is, and you put those however many is up there.
Okay.
And then you got the rest. So I'm gonna start with. I don't even know if you've seen all these. If you haven't, that's okay. Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride.
A lot of Tim Burton on here.
Yeah. Corpse Bride is. That's probably, I don't know. Maybe A.
Yeah, I'd say it's A.
Yeah.
It's just a solid Halloween film.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of Tim Burton films are, at least for me.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Tim Burton and more of his style and his cinematography and filmmaking. I just don't think he's that good of a writer and director because a lot of the stories I just don't think are well written. Sort of, but he does have a lot of good. When he makes good films, they're really good, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I'd say A tier as well. So both go A. I put Sleepy Hollow on here. I know you said you hadn't seen it or hadn't seen all of it. I'd say it's probably B tier. It's good. It's not great, but I'd say B tier.
Yeah.
I mentioned Sweeney Todd. Have you seen Sweeney Todd?
I couldn't get through
Johnny
that
Depp,
one.
Sweeney Todd.
Okay. As soon as they started singing, I turned it off.
Oh, right.
Which is at the 2 minutes in.
I think as a Halloween movie.
I think they get through the credits and then they start singing.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. It's probably a C tier for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Haunted Mansion. Eddie Murphy.
Oh man. That's probably A B.
It's B. Okay. I mean, that's one that I go back to every year,
Yeah.
and
No, I do too.
I love it. I love it every time. And like it's like a Halloween film. It's just a fun Halloween film for me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say A tier. It's like a low A.
Yeah. I've
But
a lot of
I
the
can.
ones, because like I feel like all these movies are like all the movies that I watch every year for Halloween are like peak movies. That's why I watch them every year. So it's like, but I can still put them on a list. So like even the lowest one is probably gonna be like a
Sure.
really good movie in my opinion.
Right. That's fair. Oh, yeah. It's probably like realistically like a B tier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stay B. It's fine. Hotel Transylvania.
Let's see the first one. Uh, probably
It's hard. It's like animated kids movie.
yeah,
Like
probably
it's not.
B, I guess.
Yeah. I. Yeah, I'd probably say it's like a B tier. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not great. Um, it's that's one thing that's really interesting. It's like with those movies, and I feel like this happens a lot. Which I'm really looking forward to Nestor Feratu. I think I mispronounced that, but it's the Dracula film by what's his name? I talked about it last week. It's the vampire. It's like the Dracula.
Oh,
Loosely based off Dracula.
with the guy from he was in The Hobbit.
Luke Evans. Wait.
Is that who you're
Oh
talking
no,
about?
I'm talking about something
Oh.
else. No,
That's one you had
no.
mentioned.
He
last
actually
week.
he did a movie called Dracula.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about then.
Anyways, it's yeah, Nosferatu. So I'm looking forward to Nosferatu. It comes out. It's actually like Christmas Day. It comes out. But it's based off of a movie from a silent German film from the 20s, which is loosely based off of Dracula, and I can't remember who's directing the new one.
Let's keep going on the list.
Okay, sorry. It's well, I'm making a point. In Hotel Transylvania, it's really interesting that Dracula and Frankenstein are like celebrities, and they're not scary anymore. Like those were like those were the beginning of the horror book genre and then film genre. I just finished reading Dracula. That was Frankenstein was like the first like fictional horror book written, and then they made films about it, and like those were like horrifying. Those were the scary films, and now it's like changed in our culture where it's more demonic and so forth. And there's a lot of commentary that I can give on that as to why that is, why it shifts in different cultures. But now we see like Dracula and Frankenstein and like the Mummy, like they're just like we laugh at them. They're celebrities. We dress up as them. We find them silly, when they actually used to be horrifying, and so forth. It's interesting that they do that with Hotel Transylvania. But yeah, you say B tier, I say B tier as well. Coraline, have you seen Coraline?
Oh yeah, we watch that every year.
Nice.
That's probably A.
Yeah,
It's a fun movie.
it's actually been a while since I've seen it, but I remember liking it. It's weird, but I like weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say it's A tier. It's a good Beetlejuice.
I can't just put everything in A. I mean,
Well, we got what's your S tier? Like, do you have like movies in mind that would be S tier?
I have one in mind. I guess I don't know what would. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess I might go back and put like Corpse Bride in S tier. I really like Corpse Bride.
Okay. Yeah.
Beetlejuice could probably go in S tier.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other one.
Beetlejuice
The other
is
one that
100%
I'm
S tier
thinking
for me.
There's the other one that I'm thinking of that would be S tier. So I think I could put Beetlejuice and Corpse Bride in S tier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I agree. I think as a Halloween film, I think it's top notch. It's great.
Yeah.
It's funny, a little spooky, but it's just a good Halloween film
For sure.
Deals with a lot of it's just interesting aspects of of death and then of course incorrect understanding of the afterlife.
Yeah.
But also there's a lot of good messages that are woven throughout of it and that I enjoy and I appreciate. And yeah, overall, I think it's just a fun Halloween movie. What about the sequel, Beetlejuice? We haven't talked about Beetlejuice since we've both seen it, I don't think.
Who did did I do a mini review or did you do a mini review?
You did.
Okay. It's just Jenna Ortega just drives me nuts.
Oh, really? As an actor?
Yeah.
Huh.
She makes 2 comments in the movie that are so annoying. 2 feminist comments. Yeah. One about feminism, strictly about feminism, and then one about climate change.
Well, yeah, and not to get too much into it. I do remember those lines, and it's it kind of bugged me at first, but I thought oh well, no, they're kind of making fun of it because this is, and because it's showing her worldview is a certain way, and it actually changes throughout the film, where she doesn't believe in the afterlife, she doesn't believe in the spirituals, she doesn't believe in ghosts and all these things, and so she has this very get in line, stand in line with everyone else worldview that is kind of silly, at least from the perspective of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think they set that up well, where it's oh wow, and she actually kind of changes throughout the film, where I was actually kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
Because and she was representing what a lot of Gen Zers are and it's kind of showing it's kind of silly. That might not be what they were going for necessarily, and maybe they just wanted to shoehorn those lines in.
That's what it felt more like for me. But maybe when I watch it again, it'll not come off that way. But it's just I know that's how Jen Ortega is, so that's why I would be that's why I would say that's probably not what they were going for. But it could come off that way. I don't know. It's either B or C for me.
Yeah, I it. It was a big step down from the first one. Yeah. And basically, the only thing good about it was all the references to the first one. So, it's C tier for me. So
yeah.
Do you want to list off a couple before I'm gonna? Well, here actually one more. Hocus Pocus.
I think that's Hocus Pocus. I would say that's A.
Really? Okay.
Do you not like it?
No, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because they don't glorify witchcraft or witches necessarily. They actually show it's these witches are bad, and there's a reason that they were they hung them, right? I think that's how they died by hanging
in the beginning.
Or they burn them. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
We used to kill witches, which was actually a good thing. And then they come back and it makes it pretty clear they're evil. So they're the villains. It's silly. It's funny. It is Halloween film. Yeah, it feels like a Halloween film. So did you say B?
Yeah. No, I think I said A.
Okay. A. Okay.
Or maybe I said B.
Yeah, I'm okay with saying A tier. Yeah. It is a decent Halloween film. It's got a pretty straightforward story, and it's fun.
Yeah. Good
ending. Yeah. That's it.
Well, you also get a good arc with the main male character, because he goes from getting bullied to standing up to bullies. Right. He doesn't stand up to the bullies from the beginning, but he stands up to the witches, and so there's a good arc of him kind of becoming a man and saving the day.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Totally. Do you have? You had at least one that you put in S tier. Yeah. The rest of mine, I have a few horror movies I wanted to shoot off.
Oh, okay. Monster House, S tier.
Oh, Monster House.
That's my
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
We watch it every year.
Top one?
It's so
really okay.
Good. Yeah. So good.
It's a girl house. That's the only thing I remember from that movie.
That's the uvula. Oh, so it's a girl house.
No, that's great. I need to watch that one.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah,
long
you
time.
need to watch it this week.
Okay,
for sure.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So S tier for
Yeah.
you. I mean, yeah, I'm fine saying S tier. I don't remember much about it. It's been a long time,
Yeah.
so I'm sure it's a good one. So, okay, so The Conjuring, where would you put that?
That's probably S.
Yeah, I'd say S
It's
tier.
really good.
It's really good. It's a good horror film, but a good Halloween spooky season film.
Yeah.
Staying within that, Annabelle, the first one. The other one's
Let's see the first one. That was the couple.
the kid that they had baby.
Yeah, they're the baby. That one was good too.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if we're like comparing it to Conjuring, I would put it in like A.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's A. You know, spooky doll.
Mm.
It's horror. It's fun horror. Have you seen The Ring?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you gotta watch The Ring this year,
Yeah.
dude. Put that on your list.
Okay.
Watch it with Maribel.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, you gotta watch The Ring. Have you seen Psycho? Like the
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's really
Where'd you
good.
put that?
That's
It's
probably
solid.
S tier.
Yeah, I'd say S tier
Yeah,
as well.
that's a really good movie.
Sixth Sense.
That's probably A for me. Not that there's
Mm-hmm.
really much wrong with it. It's just I don't know. It's a good movie.
Once you learn the twist, it's not as fun.
I wouldn't
It's a
say
good.
so.
I mean, it's solid. Like what?
I wouldn't say it doesn't. I wouldn't say it ruins it or anything. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would say it ruins it. It's just not. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's still good. It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the Village.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say-
The Village is way better than the Sixth Sense. The Village is S tier.
Really? Okay. Man, I don't know. I have seen The Village recently. I don't know if I'd say it's better. Village, I would probably. Ooh. I'd probably be like B tier.
Wow.
It's not like I like the twist. It's spooky. It's just not like one that I'd love to go back to, I guess. And that's kind of like where I would
Yeah.
kind of have to rank some of these movies. Like, oh, this is one I want to go. I like to go back
Right.
to and watch.
All right, we're in about an hour. Do you have any that you really want to get out of the way?
Okay, so let's do M. Night Shyamalan again. Signs. I know you like Signs.
Yeah, I like Signs. I don't watch it really for Halloween.
Yeah.
Most Alien movies I stay away from for Halloween. I'm not.
Sure.
It doesn't really put me in the Halloween mood.
What about Alien?
Yeah, not for Halloween.
Okay, that's fair.
As a movie, I would put it in probably A tier.
Okay,
But it's not really I don't consider it a Halloween movie.
sure.
Or it's not spooky enough, or like it's not like
No.
I feel like with Aliens, you just don't watch Alien movies for Halloween.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
know.
me.
I think Alien I'm okay with, but as far as Alien movies in general,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say Signs would be, as a Halloween film, I kind of would agree. Like, it's kind of like C tier
Yeah.
for me. So, one last one: Five Nights at Freddy's, a more recent film. Actually, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
it.
I
You've seen
have.
it, right? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
What'd you?
It's like a B or C.
Okay. There's like as a movie, it's C. As a Halloween film, like that's I think it's great.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
so
as
I'd
a
say-
Halloween movie, I guess it's B.
I'm gonna say A tier.
Really,
Yeah.
you're putting all your other A
And
tiers
I-
to shame.
What?
You're putting all your other A tier movies to shame, putting that at A tier.
What?
Just kidding.
I like the the Five Nights at Freddy's kind of universe. I think it's fun, and I know a lot about the lore.
Yeah.
And so there's certain aspects of it that I like. But I understand. Like I said, it's like a C tier movie, but it's like Halloween movie. Yeah, it's haunted animatronics.
Yeah.
You know. It's,
all right. Do you want to call it now?
yeah, let's do that.
Right.
This was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Happy Halloween.
Yep. That was our...
We didn't really get much into the whole topic of Halloween itself, but yeah, that's okay.
This Halloween... When's Halloween?
31st, Thursday.
Thursday, okay, yeah. So yeah, this is our last episode before Halloween. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed this Halloween episode. Enjoy the spooky movies leading up to Halloween. And remember that Halloween is a Christian holiday. So go out and celebrate All Hallows Eve.
With joy, knowing who has conquered all that is evil and dark.
That we can masquerade and laugh at the demons because they have no power. And
yeah, which is the point of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's not based off of the pagan holiday Samhain.
Yeah,
but that's for another day.
Yeah, it's not what the lady in Hocus Pocus said that Halloween is about.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, if you want to support us some more, head over to patreon.com/thepowellbros. We got lots of movie reviews over there. And so yeah, head over there and check it out and listen to our movie reviews and mini reviews, all that stuff. But thanks for listening, and remember to glorify God and watch good movies. We're out.
Yep. See
Bye.
ya.